Okay, guys, this video has two purposes right now. I just feel the necessity to give this data to y'all. This is very important stuff. There's two purposes to this. The first one is the last video that I posted. There was a little bit of audio issues. So if hear, anybody wants to hear the audio from that container video from September 2017 that proves that all of this is just unbelievably supernatural, and you don't want to hear any audio fades or any of that. I went ahead and I included this link in the video that's called Miracle After Miracle After Miracle. This is in the description box. Now watch.
Other people were
This part of the video,
told to build buildings, Ark of the Covenant.
okay, this video right here is this link right here. See this link right here? That link right there is this video that was used to produce this video, Miracle After Miracle After Miracle. So if you want to go just listen to the raw video, there it is. Okay, so now we've done that. Now let me go back. Okay, here's another very odd thing that happened. The other video that was used to produce it was when I had Dave stitched together, which is the little thing I shot last night out there with the container. Look what happened. How in the world does that happen? That's from the video. So somehow YouTube got the thumbnail and turned it upside down. I mean, that's just crazy. How does that happen? I don't know, but so now that being part of the just strange nuances of all this stuff, let me show you the Acts of Peter. Now, I want to be very, very clear so people understand this. The Acts of Peter was left out of the Bible. Okay, it's okay because I don't need the Acts of Peter at all to prove out everything I've shown you. It all proves out through Matthew 16. Jesus told Peter, I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against his church. And so he told Peter, and I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. You put a key in the lock and you turn the key upside down and the door opens. That's what a key is used for. And you even go look at the mechanisms of it. It's so obvious. So anyway, in Matthew 16, Jesus said, I'll give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Let me show you something in Acts 26 about Paul. Paul is giving his testimony to King Agrippa. I want you to see this. See right here, O King Agrippa. So there's Paul, and Paul is giving his testimony in front of Agrippa, saying, hey, this is what happened to me. I used to be one of the worst persecutors of Christians there was. And I had letters from the chief priest to go to Damascus and arrest men, women, and children and have them executed. That's what Paul was on his way to do. And then a light shone down from heaven. Paul fell off his horse. He was blind for 3 days. Ananias came over, laid hands on him, and restored his sight, and like scales fell off Paul's eyes. Okay, well, he's telling that to Agrippa right here. And I want to show you that because Peter also stood trial in front of Agrippa, and he was sentenced to death. Now watch this. So here is Paul talking to Agrippa, and this is Acts 26, verse 13. At midday, O king, I saw a light from heaven, above the brightness of the sun, shining round about me and them which journeyed with me. And when we were all fallen to the earth, that is more than just falling off your horses. It is a foreshadowing of the truth that we all fell to earth. That's what we're doing here, folks. So watch this. So he says, when we had all fallen to the earth, I heard a voice speaking unto me, saying in Hebrew tongue, Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me? And then it's hard to kick against the pricks. That's what horses behind the plows, there used to be these sharp things. So if the horse tried to kick the plow it was pulling, it would get a sharp poke in the hoof. That's what that means. So anyway, I just don't know if y'all know that. Anyway, And I said, Who art thou, Lord? And he said to me, here it is, I am Jesus, the one whom thou persecutest. And so Jesus says to Paul, but rise, stand upon thy feet. Interesting. For I have appeared unto thee for this purpose, to make thee a minister and a witness both of these things which thou hast seen and of those things in, uh, in the which I will appear unto thee, delivering thee from the people and from the Gentiles unto whom I now send thee. Look at this. To open their eyes and turn them from darkness to light and from the power of Satan to God. Okay, well, at the risk of being redundant, that is the tagline for the company, the Vampire Sunglasses company that I had when I got saved. That's what I was doing. And the tagline was, come out of the darkness and into the light with Vlad Eyewear, because you're a vampire and you can't come in the daylight without our sunglasses. That's how good they are. See, there it is. Come out of the darkness into the light. Acts 26. Paul was called to open their eyes and turn them from darkness to light. Okay, part one. Come out of the darkness and light. So I have that in common with Paul. Okay, let me show you what I have in common with Peter. The night I got saved, the first thing the Lord told me was, Jonathan, read the tags and the clothes you're carrying. I read the first tag. It was 100% nylon. Doesn't make any sense. The Lord said, turn it upside down, which I did. And when I turned 100% nylon upside down, it's 100% no line. Okay, and that began my journey. You know, I'm not going to go over any more of it. Y'all can go watch it all on YouTube. So anyway, so in order to see the truth, I had to turn everything upside down, and I also had to speak 100% truth. That was a requirement. And if I don't speak 100% truth, it's like shutting the door on your communication with the Lord God. So you always want to speak 100% truth, even if it means your life or your death, is what I should say. Okay, so let me show you now what Jesus said to Peter. Okay, now Peter is bummed out. Jesus has been crucified. They're all freaking out. All the disciples don't know what to do. So just like everybody else that doesn't know what to do, you kind of go back into what you used to do. So they're a bunch of fishermen. Let's go fishing. So they're out fishing. And Jesus has risen and he's walking on the shore. And he calls out to his disciples and he says, cast the net on the right side of the boat. And even though they had been fishing all night, they didn't. They could barely bring in the fish. Peter sees, oh my gosh, it's Jesus. He dives off the boat and he swims over to shore and he's like, wow, there's Jesus. That must have been quite a moment, right? Especially since he had denied Jesus 3 times. Pay attention, this is huge. We're going to do the Acts of Peter after this, but I want you to understand you don't need the Acts of Peter, but the Acts of Peter is phenomenal. But watch this. This is amazing. So he jumps off the boat. He swims over to him. He gets over. They're cooking some fish. Now look what it says. Now this is the 3rd time that Jesus had showed himself to the disciples. Here, let me enlarge that for y'all. There you go. Okay. After he had risen from the dead. So when they had dined, Jesus said to Simon Peter, look at this. Simon, son of Jonas. Why did he call him son of Jonas? I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. Because I'm here to deliver to this generation the modern sign of Jonas for the second coming. Not for the first, for the second. And I'll prove it out to you. If you'll sit tight, just watch. It'll blow your mind. Okay, so here he is calling him son of Jonas. Okay, this is John 21. This is after the crucifixion and he's resurrected. Why is he calling him son of Jonas? He's already renamed him Petros back there in Matthew 16 before he ever got crucified. He says, Simon Bar-Jonah, which means son of Jonas. Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed it unto you, but my Father who is in heaven. and I will call you Petros, which means little rock. And upon this Petra, massive rock, I will build my church. And that massive rock is the foundation. And the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. And I will give unto thee the keys to the kingdom of heaven. That's back in Matthew 16. So in Matthew 16, while he was just talking about what was going to happen to him, he renamed Simon, son of Jonas, he renamed him Peter, Petros. But here he is risen from the dead, and he's calling him Simon, son of Jonas again. Watch this. So he says, Simon, son of Jonas, do you love me more than these? And he said, I love you, Lord. Then look what he says. Then feed my lambs. Let's go to that altar of St. Peter. Okay, so the largest altar in the world is the altar of St. Peter. And I'll enlarge this one because you get a real far away view and you can see it's male genitalia and all that. So there it is. Look. So here's the altar of St. Peter right here. It's a penis, it's a vagina upside down, and it's a dead sheep. It's a sheep. It's a sheep. It's a sheep. What did Jesus say? If you love me, then feed my lambs, Simon, son of Jonas. A second time right there, he said, Simon, son of Jonas. Why is he calling him that? His name's Petros. Do you love me more than these? He said, I love thee, Lord. Then feed my sheep. And he says, then feed my sheep. Look, the altar's a sheep. St. Peter. Wow. A third time he said, Simon, son of Jonas. Jonas, do you love me more than these? Peter was grieved. He said, you know all things. And Jesus said again, a third time, Jesus tells him, feed my sheep. What's the altar of St. Peter's? It's a sheep. It's a sheep. It's a sheep. So we're being mocked by Lucifer just by building that altar and naming it the altar of St. Peter and making it a big dead sheep. That is Lucifer mocking us because they put the truth right in front of you in a big dead sheep, knowing you wouldn't figure it out. Lord figured it out, didn't he? Okay, well, he had me, be the conduit to show it to you. So, you ever wonder why, like in school, they call a kid's penis a Peter? It's a derogatory thing about Peter because this altar of St. Peter, that's the penis. That's why they call it a Peter. They're making fun of us. Now, watch this. Get ready. So 3 times he calls him Simon, son of Jonas. 3 times Jesus tells him, feed my sheep. Okay, now pay very close attention. So after the 3rd time, Jesus tells him, hey, then feed my sheep. If you really love me, then feed my sheep. He already told him way back in Matthew 16, I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Then here Jesus says, verily I say unto thee, Peter, I put Peter, when you were young, you girdest yourself, and you walkest where thou wouldest. But when thou shalt be old, thou shalt stretch forth thy hands, and another shall gird thee and carry thee whither thou wouldest not. So, you're going to end up going somewhere you don't want to go. And he spake this spake he, Jesus, look at this, signifying what death he should die to glorify God. So Peter's death, by the words of Jesus Christ, the Messiah, told Peter, your death is going to glorify God. Peter was crucified upside down. Now we're going to look at the Acts of Peter. Remember, I told you Paul was in front of Agrippa giving his testimony, and Paul was said he was called to call people from darkness to light, and from the power of God, from the power of Satan to the power of God. And the way you do that, you just turn everything upside down. They both knew it. Now watch this, and I know it. Watch this. So Jesus told him right here, by the way, Peter, your death is going to glorify God. Okay, now we're going to do the Acts of Peter, and I've been wanting to do this with you for a long time, but I feel like I'm running out of time now, so we need to do it. Okay, Now, here's the thing. He's being tried in front of Agrippa. So here it is. The whole multitude of brethren therefore ran together, both rich, poor, orphans, widows, weak and strong, desiring to see and rescue Peter. While the people shouted with one voice and would not be silenced, "What wrong hath Peter done, O Agrippa?" So they're yelling at Agrippa, like, what has he done? "And how has he hurt thee? Tell the Romans." And the other said, "We fear if this man die, his Lord destroy us all." So they knew Peter was, working miracles. They were scared. People didn't want Peter to be put to death. They were like, "Oh my gosh, if you kill this guy, we're all in trouble." And Peter, when he came to the place, stilled the people and said, "You men that are soldiers of Christ, you men that hope in Christ, remember the signs and wonders which you have seen wrought through me. Remember the compassion of God, how many cures he hath wrought for you. Wait for him that cometh, and shall reward every man according to his doings. And now be not bitter against Agrippa, for he is the minister of his father's working." So Peter's saying, look, this is all part of the plan. I'm supposed to be here. So, he's telling everybody, don't be mad at Agrippa because he's just a minister of his father's working. Peter knows that his death is going to glorify God. Jesus told him that in John 21. He told him, "Hey, your death is going to glorify God." So now it's time. He knows it's time. And so he says, "And this cometh to pass at all events, for the Lord has manifested unto me that which befalleth." So what that means is he's like, "Hey, the Lord already told me what was going to happen to me. But why delay I and draw near not unto the cross?" So Peter's saying, "Hey, man, this is what I got. This is what the Lord's got laid out for me. I'm going to accept it, and it's here." That's what he's saying. Okay, now, here, if you want to see and you want to understand how profound what was done for you, what was done for me, what was done for all of us, you really want to understand the depths of God's love and how profound all this has been. The Lord let me back engineer the whole thing. And it's been proven out. Cain and Abel, cannibal, vampire sunglasses guy. Come on. It's just a joke. Come out of the darkness and light, falling out of the sky upside down when we had all fallen to the earth. Get it? I mean, do you get it? I'm the guy falling out of the sky upside down. Paul's the guy falling off his horse when we had all fallen to the earth. We all have these things in common. When I say we all, I have this in common with these two people. We know what's up. We were predestined to do what we're doing, and it's just the way it is. I mean, I didn't choose this job. This was given to me. So I'm just explaining it. Okay, so here we go. This is so profound. "And having approached and standing by the cross, he began to say, O name of the cross, thou hidden mystery. O grace ineffable that is pronounced in the name of the cross. O nature of man that cannot be separated from God. O love, friendship unspeakable and inseparable, that cannot be shown forth by unclean lips. I seize thee now, I that am at the end of my delivery hence, or of my coming hither. I will declare thee what thou art. I will not keep silence of the mystery of the cross, which of old was shut and hidden from my soul. Let not the cross be unto you which hope in Christ, this which appeareth, for it is another thing, different from that which appeareth, even this passion, which is according to that of Christ. And now above all, because ye that can hear are able to hear it of me, that am at the last and final hour of my life. Hearken. He's telling everybody to listen. He's saying, I'm at the last hour of my life. Guys, listen to me. And I'll be honest, I don't know that I'm not at this particular moment myself. Separate your souls from everything that is of the senses, from everything that appeareth and does not exist in truth. Blind these eyes of yours, close these ears of yours, and put away your doings that are seen, and you shall perceive that which concerneth Christ, and the whole mystery of your salvation. And let this much be said unto you that hear, as if it had not been spoken. But now it is time for thee, Peter, to deliver up thy body unto them that take it. Receive it then, ye unto whom it belongeth. He knows that our host bodies are on rent. Jesus paid the rent for your host body because he knows that the flesh belongs to them. That's why he said this. He knows what I know. Receive it then, ye unto whom it belongeth. I beseech you, the executioners, crucify me thus, with the head downward, and not otherwise. And the reason wherefore I will tell unto them that hear. Okay, we're going to take a moment before we do the next two verses. Peter's standing there telling everybody, here's the deal. You want to understand the whole mystery of everything? I'm going to tell it to you right now. That's what he's saying. For those who have ears to hear, hearken to that which I will declare to you at this special time. Here it comes. And when they had hanged him up in the manner he desired, he began to say, you men unto whom it belongeth to hear, hearken to that which I shall declare to you at this special time as I hang here. Learn ye the mystery of all nature, and the beginning of all things, what it was. For the first man, Cain, whose race I bear in mine appearance, or the race of whom I bear the likeness, fell from heaven, was born head downwards, and showed forth a manner of birth as was not heretofore, for it was dead. Okay, guys, I'm going to stop for a second. He's telling you right now, he bears in his resemblance the same resemblance as the first birth of the first person that was born that has his same disposition, which was Cain. Came in head down, and it was in the system. It was the good and evil thing. Watch. For it was dead, having no motion. He then, being pulled down, who cast his first state down upon the earth. Wow. Established this whole disposition of all things, being hanged up in the image of creation, wherein he made the things of the right hand into the left hand, and the left hand into the right hand, and changed about all the marks of their nature, so that he thought that those things that were not fair to be fair, and those things that were in truth evil to be good. Okay, I'm going to pause. He's telling you, being cast down and having your first estate cast down upon the earth changed about all the marks of your nature, that those things that were in truth evil are good. He changed everything reversed. And those, here it is, I'll read it again. He then, being pulled down, who also cast his first state down upon the earth, established this whole disposition of all things, being hanged up in the image of creation, wherein he made the things of the right hand into the left hand, and the left hand into the right hand. That's called being turned upside down, guys. And he changed about all the marks of their nature, so that he thought that those things that were not fair to be fair, and those things that were in truth evil to be good. So their nature got changed around. What was not fair became fair, and what was really evil became good. Concerning, here it is, better pay attention now, concerning which the Lord saith in a mystery, unless you make the things of the right hand as those of the left, and those of the left as those of the right, and those that are above as those below, and those that are behind as those before, you shall not have knowledge of the kingdom. That is what I've been telling you since I got saved. 100% nylon. Doesn't make any sense. Turn it upside down. That's exactly what he just said right there. 100% nylon, no change about. Make the things of the right, the things of the left, things of the left, things of the right. Those above as those below, and you get 100% no line. So the 100% nylon thing in the first shirt I looked at, do you know what a miracle that was that God made sure the night I got saved, I was carrying a couple pieces of clothing and the very first one I looked at said 100% nylon and that's it? And he told me to turn it upside down. Can you imagine? That's what resolved the whole mystery of everything. 100% nylon, turn it upside down. That's what resolved everything, the entire Bible. That's what the Lord used me to do, to resolve it, back engineer it. Yeah. So now we are coming to, I know the end is coming quickly, guys. I can tell. There is the altar of St. Peter. You want to see the truth? You turn the sheep upside down and it becomes the female reproductive system, and the male reproductive system becomes the female reproductive system. Oh, female is what you said, Johnny. That's right. Remember, I told you after I got saved and I prayed, Our Father, I was filled with light? That's my testimony. The Lord told me I had to put it on YouTube, even though I didn't want to. I said I left. So then, after I was filled with light, Michael, an angel, told me, You said Hail Mary, and I knew it was wrong somehow, even though no one ever told me it was wrong because I was raised Catholic. But inherently now, because the new spirit that had taken up residency inside of me, I was like, so I said the words. My testimony is I felt life and light leaving my body. Same as Peter. Just like, so when you turn the Virgin upside down, there's life and light leaving your body because you're the dead sheep. I'm the dead sheep. Mystery solved, folks. The enemy's coming now. The enemy has converted the host body system into something very different now. Very, very different. All you have to do is look at the clothing lines. Broken promises with a scorpion? Really? Let me show you a little picture. I'm going to show you something that just happened back at the hotel I'm staying at. I went to the hotel and I was like, I need to take just a little nap. I watched the sunrise this morning. The Lord told me to get up and watch the sunrise, which I did. And when I walked out and I saw the sunrise when it was coming up, I literally freaked out. I was like, it looks like the skyline of New York City in the sky. It looked like buildings going straight up. I was like, what the hell? I'll show you that in just a sec. And then I went back to the hotel a little while ago because I needed to take a nap. I only got a few hours sleep last night. And I dove on the bed and I'm like, all right. And I heard the Lord say, open the Bible that's in the drawer after I posted that video earlier. And I reached over and there was a Gideon's Bible and I pulled it out and I opened it up and I photographed it. I'll prove it. I'll show you the photograph. I opened up to Ezekiel 2. I'll read Ezekiel 2 here to you, but I'll show you the photograph on my phone in just a moment. But I'd like to read to you Ezekiel 2. Remember in the video I just posted, I told you the Lord told me I had to post Ezekiel 33 and leave it at Ezekiel 33:33 at the end of the video. That's what I was told to do. I haven't mentioned it in the video. I said that's what the Lord told me to do, even though I don't want to do it because I don't like using the word prophet. I just don't. But the Lord told me you have to, and I said okay. I haven't told you in that video. Let me show you what Ezekiel 2 says, what I opened up to. And he said unto me, Son of man, stand upon thy feet. I will send and I will speak unto thee. And the Spirit entered me, and when he spake to me, and he set me upon my feet. Oh, wow, kind of like Paul. Stand upon thy feet, Paul, I'm sending you. Okay, that I heard him speak unto me. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that hath rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me to this very day. They are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do not send thee, I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord God. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there has been a prophet among them. That's the last thing I put in the video. Let me show you the next verse. And thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words, though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions. Do not be afraid of their words, nor dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. I'm going to show you this. Look, see that? So that thou dost dwell among scorpions. Remember the clothing line, broken promises clothing line. The B and the P upside down with a scorpion that's checkerboarded. Get it? Lucifer broke his promise to all God's angels so he could get your energy. And he's the light bearer. He brought you here to kill you, to kill, steal, and destroy. That's what he did. So now the whole mystery of everything's been solved, hasn't it? That means there's got to be an end. Everything that has a beginning has an end. Yep. So anyway, the Acts of Peter says it all. So does Matthew 16. Now let me show you the modern sign of Jonah. Y'all want to see the modern sign of Jonah? Watch this. Okay, I'm going to take Acts 26 because we're done with it, and I'm going to go to Matthew 16. Matthew 16, I suggest you do this with me. Matthew 16. Okay, now, Jesus was in the belly of the earth for 3 days. Jonah was in the belly of the fish for 3 days. Now, I want to show you something so you know. A lot of people get hung up on one letter in a word, but if you look at eSword, you'll find out you don't need to get hung up. Let me show you something real quick. This is phenomenal. Okay, so just bear with me while I'm opening up programs. eSword is opening up right now, so it'll be quick. Okay, so we're gonna go to Matthew. We're gonna go to 16, and you'll see that I'll show you that we're at Matthew 16, and it says that I'm gonna go back and forth between Bible Gateway and eSword. Okay, so here you go. So the Pharisees, along with the Sadducees, came and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. And he answered and he said unto them, when it is evening, you say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather. It will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. Oh, you hypocrites! You can discern the face of the sky, but you cannot discern the signs of the time. A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign. There shall be no sign given unto it, but the sign of the prophet, look at this, Jonas. And he left and departed. Okay, so in Matthew 16, which is the same scripture that Jesus gave Peter, that said, I'm going to give you the keys to the kingdom of heaven, it begins with Jesus telling you, I'm not going to give these guys any sign except the sign of the prophet Jonas. Well, watch this. So then, we get over to the other side of when they came to the coast of Caesarea Philippi, right here, he said, who do men say that I am? And some say thou art John the Baptist, wrong. Some say Elias, wrong. Others say Jeremiah or one of the prophets. Everybody was wrong. The point is, no one can tell you who Jesus is. You have to go to the Father. No one comes to the Son unless the Father leads him. That's why when you cry out, you should cry out to the Father. Say, Father, help me. Cry out to your Father in heaven. Lead me to Christ. Okay? It's not what churches teach. And so anyway, so he said, okay, well, everybody's wrong. Some say you're John the Baptist. Some say Elias, Jeremiah, one of the prophets. And Jesus said, but who do you say that I am? Use the name of God. Simon Peter said, thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus said, blessed art thou, look right here, Simon Bar-Jonah. Do you know what Bar-Jonah means? It means son of Jonah. So let's go down there. So here we go. Jesus said, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah. See, son of Jonas. See, Jonas or Jonah. Right there, see it? So the Son is the one that comes after. Okay, so he says, okay, Simon Bar-Jonah, which means son of Jonas. For flesh and blood did not reveal it unto thee, his identity, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say unto thee that thou art Peter. Right there, look, Peter means a Petros, G4074, a piece of rock. And upon this rock, G4073, massive rock, which is Christ. And so, see, Christ is right. Jesus's whole church is built opposite of Satan's kingdom. Satan's kingdom's a pyramid. Everything on the base serves the one on top. Turn it upside down, and that's Jesus's kingdom. The one on the bottom serves everyone above him. He died for the sins of all. Do you understand? Do you see? So he tells him, you're going to be the little rock, because he's going to be the first building stone, because he's going to get crucified upside down. And then I'm going to be the big rock, the base. And then I will build and upon this rock, look at this, I will build my church. Okay, so I don't care what any human being, any preacher, I don't care what they say, and that's the way God made me. I don't care. If they say it's anything other than this, they're a liar. Because Jesus just told you, upon this rock, I will build my church. So no one can argue with Jesus. He's the final word. And he just said, that's what I'm going to do. Peter, you're going to be the little rock. You're going to be the first building stone on the new church. You're going to get crucified upside down. I'm going to be the base, and we're going to put you as one of the first building blocks on the church of my church. It means those that are called out. Look, a calling out. That's what church means, because we're called out of this world. And the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Look, Matthew 16:1-9. Oh, like 100% nylon, turn it upside down. 1:6 turns to 1:9, doesn't it? And I will give thee the keys to the kingdom of heaven. Right there. Keys. It means a key, as in shutting a lock. Okay, so right there in Matthew 16, he told Simon, son of Jonas, that, hey, I'm going to give you the key to the kingdom of heaven. And upon this rock, I'm going to build my church. The right side up, upside down thing. He knew it. And so Jesus dies on a cross right side up, and then Peter dies on a cross upside down. So remember in the Acts of Peter what he said? Remember what he said? He said, unless you make the things of the right hand as those of the left, and those of the left as those of the right, and those above as those below, and those that are behind as those before, you shall not have knowledge of the kingdom. Okay, well, let me show you a picture of that real quick, and then I'll show you a picture of that. It's the same thing as 100% nylon turning to 100% no line, but I want to show you a representation with crosses, and then I'll show you the modern sign of Jonas. Okay, so here we go. Let me show you the image of the paradigm in Matthew 16. Here we go. So we'll go to reversals right here, this folder. Okay, so watch this. It's this simple. There it is. So look, there's Jesus crucified on the cross. Well, let's make the things of the right hand as those of the left, and those of the left as those of the right, those above as those below, and those before as those behind. All you have to do that is turn this cross upside down, and right becomes left. Well, here, we'll do it. Left becomes right, right becomes left, above becomes below. That's all it means. Here's a perfect image of it. So, unless you make the things of the right hand as those of the left, and those of the left as those of the right, and those above as those below, you will have no knowledge of the kingdom. Why do you think Jesus gave Peter the keys to the kingdom of heaven? Why do you think I'm so dogmatic about it? Why do you think I'm so dogmatic? I'm like, no. You say you're saved. I don't believe you unless you've been converted. If you haven't been turned upside down, The one half hasn't been able to reach out. You have not been converted. Peter knew it. I know it. Paul knew it. All the disciples knew it. Acts 17.6. Paul and Silas have turned the world upside down. Now they've come, let's see. Paul and Silas have turned the world upside down. Now they are come hither to the disturbing our city. Acts 17.6. So this is made manifest all over the place. Here's the Taj Mahal, or there it is. Look at what they have in front of all these big buildings. The enemy knows it. Here's the memorial for the Alfred P. Moore, the federal building bombing. There's the Washington Monument. See, right side up, upside down. Right side up, upside down. Right side up, upside down. They know it. Princess Bride, right side up, upside down. Either way you read this, it says Princess Bride. Okay, yeah. Eiffel Tower, right side up, upside down. I mean, Bohemian Grove, they do their little sacrifices right in front of the water, right side up, upside down. Judge Scalia killed in this place, right side up, upside down. Yeah, they know what's up. So you just start looking at logos and it's like, oh my gosh, everything's become perfectly clear now. Okay, so now the modern sign of Jonas. So back in Matthew 16, the modern sign of Jonas was what? Jesus told the Jews what? You're not going to get any sign, you hypocrites. But the only sign you're going to get is the sign of Jonas. So what happened to Jonas? He was in the belly of the fish for 3 days. Jesus was in the belly of the earth for 3 days. That was their sign for that generation. You know what the sign is for this generation? John 21 tells you. Why do you think he called him Simon, son of Jonas 3 times? His name was Petros. Simon, son of Jonas. 1. How many days was Jonas in the belly of the fish? 3. So look, Simon, son of Jonas once. Feed my sheep. Simon, son of Jonas twice. Feed my sheep. Simon, son of Jonas 3 times. Feed my sheep. By the way, Peter, your death is going to glorify God when you get crucified upside down. And this whole upside down thing, once it comes out, everyone's going to know that knows. Everyone that has an ear to hear, you'll know the modern sign of Jonas is knowing that there's a right side up, upside down paradigm. Just like you're looking at the virgin, but it's really a dead sheep. Peter, feed my sheep. Peter, feed my sheep. Peter, feed my sheep. Do you love me? Then feed my sheep. And the devil's saying, hey, let's make fun of Peter and we'll call it the altar of St. Peter and we'll make the whole thing a dead sheep, but we'll hide the truth by turning it upside down. It's really a vagina and the female reproductive system because they worship the carnal sex body, male, female system. All glory to God. You see what I mean? Their kingdom is no longer a kingdom because it's exposed. Satan rules over the kingdom of darkness. But I was called to get y'all out of the darkness and into it should be like this, out of the darkness into the light. Because you're already upside down. You need to be turned right side up, really. That's it. It's that simple. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to load this up, and then I'm going to do another video tonight, and I think I'm going to, anyway, I'll be getting back to y'all again. And guys, we may be on the verge right now. I don't know. Maybe. Y'all want to see a really weird thing that happened in the last video? Y'all want to see something really weird? Watch this. Miracle after miracle after miracle. Okay, watch this. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Okay. Watch this. This morning I got up. You know what? Let me go get those pictures real quick. Take it. Okay, so the Lord told me I want you to watch the sun come up this morning, Jonathan. And I went to bed at like 1 o'clock. That means I had to get up at like 5:30. And I wasn't really up for it. I was like, can I get up tomorrow? It's like, I woke up at 5:30 and I was like, oh, I can't go back to sleep. So I got up and I walked outside to watch the sunrise. And now this is the sunrise. Ready? That's the sunrise. Let's see. I don't want to glare on there. Let's see. Oh, it went dark. There's the sunrise. I was like, wow, that looks like a skyline of buildings. Let's see. There you go. There it is. Now you can see it. That looks like the skyline of buildings with an ocean in front of it. I was like, that is so bizarre looking, weird. And I was like, that is very strange. It looked like a skyline of maybe New York or a building that's, or a city that's on the water. And I was like, that is so bizarre. There you go. Look at that. I mean, let me see if get it out of the glare system here. And there's a little bit of a glare here. Anyway, look at that. There it is. It looks like a city that's on the water. And I was like, weird. That was a sunrise. Okay, let me show you a really strange thing that happened today. So I was going through the comments, and JD Murphy said, on this 9th of Av, I'm going out to dinner with someone I care very much. Suggested, someone I care very much suggested we go out to a new restaurant for dinner called The Watch That Ends the Night. Wow, that's weird. I just put Ezekiel 33 in this video, which is the watchman's call. And, I've been waiting. I told you in the other video, I'm just waiting for my watch to end. And I think my watch is coming to an end. And so they write, so this person, JD Murphy, says, someone suggested they go to a new restaurant for dinner called The Watch That Ends the Night. That's the name of the restaurant. And they put a link. Look, let's click on the link. So here's The Watch That Ends the Night. Watch this. The Watch That Ends the Night. There it is. I'm like, oh, wow, that's interesting. I scroll down. Look what it says. Look what it says. How weird. All are welcome here by the sea under the stars. Spirits are restored. I was like, because aren't we waiting just to be restored? Once my watch is over, I get to go home. The New Jerusalem leaves here. The bride of Christ leaves. That container represents the New Jerusalem. I mean, this is getting really wild. I'm like, I don't know. It's kind of edgy. So anyway, I thought that was really fascinating. Scroll down a little more. It said, the watch that ends the night is under new ownership. Yes, we are, because we were bought and paid for, not with gold and silver, but with the precious blood of Christ. We are under new ownership, aren't we? That was crazy. So anyway, I've seen a lot of really impossible things happening. And I think we may be getting really, really, really close. That is just phenomenal. All are welcome by the sea under the stars, spirits are restored. Wow. That's what the New Jerusalem is. Everybody getting restored. That's it. I wonder what the odds are. Anyway, kind of cool, huh? So yeah, the modern sign of Jonas is knowing that everything's upside down. That's why he said it to him 3 times. Just like Jonas was in the belly of the fish for 3 days, Jesus was in the belly of the earth for 3 days, and Jesus said to Peter 3 times, Simon, son of Jonas, just like Jonas that was in the fish, Simon, son of Jonas. Second time, Simon, son of Jonas. The third time, he should have been calling him Petros, but he said, feed my sheep, feed my sheep. And I'm here to show you how to feed the sheep. You only feed the sheep by turning everything upside down. That's the only way to feed the sheep. You understand? It's all proven out now. Okay, guys, I got to turn on this fan. It's hot, and I probably got to do some stuff. I will see you again tonight. Maybe. We'll see. I may be gone. Y'all may be gone. Who knows? I may be here a month from now. I don't know. I never know. But I'm just going to act on faith. Okay? God bless you guys. All right.